we stand tall. Words are blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean. Spirited minds sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night. Join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the vibrant lore. Diving deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. In the ring we stand tall. Words are blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. In the ring we stand tall. Words are blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean. Spirited mind sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night. Join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena, there's no chance to escape the fight by law. Diving deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena, there's no chance to escape the fight by law. Diving deep and search for more.
What is going on, everybody? We're back at it, another stream, another live, another show. Of course, you know where you're at. You're at Spartan SU Network. I am your host, the Spartan, aka Peter. How is everybody doing tonight? This is going to be a conversation of motivation. Yes, the title says you're not good enough, but we need to break that cycle because you are good enough. I've been down this road multiple times, more times I can count, but I always come victorious. I always come on top no matter what. But before we get into it, I want to bring my official biggest numbnuts I ever met in my life. Of course, we're talking about my buddy from the UK. The fuck was that?
Door.
We had some interesting intros and way people came in, but you might say you're the top of the leader now, but you know, coming in weird ways, Greg.
It was that door there. The hinge at the top's knackered.
Uh-huh. Alright.
My landlord won't fix it. Well, it's not the
Yeah.
hinge; it's the door frame needs
I'm not
replacing.
going to go there with landlords. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
No. The frame needs replacing. The hinge coming away.
So, my man, I know you've been through a lot of shit in your life. And let's be honest here. Me and you both
Yep.
have been through a lot.
Yep.
And I assume people have told you sometimes you're not good enough, right?
I've been called worse than that.
Like,
Worthless sack of shit.
been
Wish
there.
you were dead.
Been
all
there.
types of shit. Yeah.
So, I don't want this conversation to be a negative conversation. Let's get that out of the way right now. I want this conversation to be a positive motivation conversation. I want to switch it. You're not good enough to you're good enough. But let's talk. Let's break the walls down first. All right.
Yep. Yep.
So, why do you think people target people like us saying we're not good enough?
Well, in my case, people think you're weak, or because I look stupid and they think I'm kind of really retarded.
Say again.
People actually think I'm retarded.
Not literally. I was an expression of speech. So first of all, you're probably one of the smartest guys I know with computers, so they can go fuck themselves.
I'm not that smart, but I know enough to get me through.
I said you're one of the smartest. I didn't say you're the smartest. I'm not giving you that much credit. Fuck you.
Well, I did build that system over there for the wife, and my one up here.
So my point is trying to get to here tonight is we all as men, not only as men, as women too, will sit there and tell us we are not good enough. We're not this. But before we get this show on the road, let's get our where is that? Here it is. Our official witch doctor. She's been missing for a while. Witch doctor, welcome back from your leave of absence.
Yeah, it's not leave of absence, more like because I had to sleep early, and that
I
very
know.
crazy.
I was just
Yeah.
but you leave absence from the show, so that's counts as it. So
Okay.
tonight's topic, you are not good enough. So we're
Mhm.
talking about right now. So the point of the show tonight is not to be negative, to be positive.
Mhm.
It's more a motivation show than a downgrade show. So
Mhm.
we are going to start it in two different segments. First half is going to talk about why people target people like us who think
Mhm.
we're not good enough, and actually we are better than them. And then
Mhm.
the other half is we're going to prove them by our conversation. We are a lot smarter than they fucking think. These dumbass motherfuckers.
Mhm.
So, and I assume you've been through those roads too, Mariana, like me and Greg. People think
Yeah.
we're not good enough, correct?
Yes.
So, Greg, finish what you're going to say, and I'll have Mariana give her 2 cents.
I don't remember what I was saying. I really don't remember. My brain is so fried tonight. It's unbelievable. Literally, it's fried from all the crap I've just had to deal with tonight.
All right, Mariana, you're up, I guess. Why
Okay.
do you think people target people like us, thinking we are not good enough? I'd like to hear your point of view on this.
Because those who think that they think they could pick it, but then they realize, okay, when the ones who feel like they get picked on, they're the quiet ones.
Mhm.
They usually don't say nothing and just keep going. Just keep going. And that's usually, that's usually the ones who fight the battle inside. Once you
Okay.
stay quiet and stay resilient and stay focused, you win. That's like you win towards the end. And that usually kind of took them surprise. No matter what it is, you will win. Because sometimes it will take surprise. Some people just like to talk a lot of smack and trying to, talk, be like, oh, what this person knows. Oh, what this, what this person is. You think this person's able is amount to anything? Like, you could say what you want, but never judge a book by its cover. That's the old saying. So, it's
Mhm.
usually the ones you expect the less, they usually does the best. Or, stuff that people, they always judge the worst, but they always went, to the end, no matter what it is in life. Um, it could be something career. It could be something to, being popular, you being like not popular. It could be um all of you being not recognized, all of a sudden you recognize, you being noticeable. I mean, it's a lot of factors in life. So those the ones who talk a lot of smack and end up regretting it, and it usually happens. So that's why keep your mouth shut, and then you don't realize what you encounter, and then you end up regretting it. When the ones you mess with, they end up winning towards the end.
I agree, but I want to add a little to that part of the
Mm-hmm.
conversation. I have learned over the years people who target other people
Mm-hmm.
are usually more weaker than the people who are quiet. The
Yeah.
quiet people are usually more stronger, more disciplined, and more focused
Mm-hmm.
versus the people who target people. And me and you know a few people like that in our professional careers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna say names,
Mm-hmm.
but let's say for argument's sakes, his name is TJ. Let's say his name is TJ for argument's sakes.
Mm-hmm.
And this person likes to target people because he wants to be a little fucking piece of shit pussy bully.
Mm-hmm.
If you have time to put my name in your mouth, or I put time in your life to think about me,
Mm-hmm.
I won the battle before you even open your fucking mouth. Because it gives you time and effort
Mm-hmm.
to think about me when I don't give a shit about you. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
cross my mind. I'm just using TJ as an example. Like the person doesn't exist. I'm just going to use a random name, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But that person could be miserable,
Mm-hmm.
whatever their life is.
Mm-hmm.
They're negative. They're whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you keep on course and track, this is one of my sayings, and I think you guys are going to like this. So
Mm-hmm.
one of my sayings is you have two routes to pick: the left
Mm-hmm.
or right, A or B, however you want to break it down. All right,
Mm-hmm.
A or B is A. It could be the easy route,
Yeah.
or B the hard route, but the B is more reward, and versus the A route, you get less rewards. Which one would you pick, Mariana?
The harder route. I'm not
Why?
gonna. Why? Because you get reward towards the end. The
Mhm.
shorter route, you're not gonna get that because it's feel like almost in a way it's like cheating, but you're not getting the result you wanted. So
Mhm.
I rather prefer the harder route. The harder route, you have to go through struggle in order to, when you struggle, when you strive and you keep going, then you get the reward towards the end. That's the way I look at it. So,
I personally agree 100% because you know, I'll give you a great example. In high school,
mm-hmm,
people doubted me completely. Whatever
mm-hmm,
reason, didn't give a shit really.
mm-hmm,
But they used to make comments like, "Oh, you're never gonna be good enough. You're gonna be flipping burgers at McDonald's all your life."
mm-hmm,
Partially, they're right. I am flipping burgers, but not at McDonald's. I am a very, very good fucking chef, and you know that, Mariana.
yeah.
Fuck you over there. Do you really want me to show you pictures of my food to see how good that is?
Dude, no, because I haven't eaten tonight.
That's
Oh
your
my
problem,
god.
not us problem. But yeah, I might be flipping burgers, but I'm flipping burgers for a lot of money, more money than you probably ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
So who won in the end, me or them?
You.
Me.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
Ay, ay, ay.
I was enjoying the background of that.
An idiot. But my point is trying to get to is those people who are negative to you, putting you down, saying you're not good enough, that should be ammunition for you, ammo
Yeah.
to fight fucking back.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Greg? If you sit there and lay down, you're not better than them. You are actually helping them. Yes, sometimes it's hard. I'm not denying that to you guys.
Yeah.
But you need to push forward. Some days you want to break down in tears.
Mm-hmm.
Some days you want to give up. But pushing forward is the difference of them versus us. I'll use this numbnuts over here. He could have given up a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right, Greg? I'm being serious right now.
Yeah, I would have. If it wasn't for her.
But what was your ammunition, your motivation to do that? Was it her? Or was it make you better for her and you together?
Mainly because of her.
Okay, explain.
I would have killed myself a very long time ago.
Don't use that word on YouTube, please. You can't say that.
Oh, sorry. I would have kamikazed a long time ago.
First of all, you should never get to that point.
Mate, I was lonely. I was very, very, very depressed. And had nothing going for me. And she basically stopped me from doing it. She took the keys from my old motor and stopped me from driving the car off a beachy head. I was drunk. I drunk for many years. Hiya. I've never been like this before. Terrible man's back.
Fuck off. Well, okay, what you were saying?
Yeah, no, if it wasn't for her, I would have. I was drinking for many years. She's the reason I stopped drinking. So. But. There's my reason.
See, I respect your reason behind that. I'm not denying that. But I think it's a little more under the hood than just that.
Before there was never any reason for me to stay alive. Literally, she's the only reason I stayed alive. Make your mind up.
Fuck off and keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, as I said, she was literally the only reason I
Will you stop doing that?
I know it freaks you out a little bit. But yeah.
Okay. So I do understand what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing one bit. But you need to find your it factor that makes you keep going.
Her.
It should,
All my reasons lead back to her. I've got
but it
otherwise
needs
I've
to be
got
a little
nothing.
more than that sometimes. Right, Mariana?
Yeah.
Me and her, get it this way, right? Me and her broke up for 7 months before we got married, right? And basically, I had nothing. I was a ghost. Yeah? And I was going to jump off the edge of the Stormont Harbour Arm. I don't know what the hell stopped me, but 2 weeks later, she came back into my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what stopped me. I just did. At the time I'd taken a load of painkillers and I was drinking a lot of alcohol.
So that's not a good combination, Greg. You know that, right?
I know. So yeah, I was literally just didn't want to live. As I said, the only reasons I'm still alive is because of her. The only reason I still am alive and I want to stay alive is because of her. I don't think of anything else. Your camera's off to the right, left.
I know. I'm grading
I-
because it should be more there, bro. Just giving up like that is not an answer. You know that, dude.
It's just the way I felt and the way I literally.
I'll be
I
honest
don't-
with you, to
I
everyone
felt
who's
numb.
watching this right now. If you feel like that, doing the I can't say stupid, going to the extreme. You done? You done? Getting to the extreme to deletion part.
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Ooh, thank you.
I hope you didn't come out the other end.
I swear to God, I'm gonna murder this guy today. So, to get to the point you want to delete yourself should not be the answer. If you feel like that, it is like an end has come and you don't have any other option. I recommend some things you do. One, talk to somebody. Number one.
Mhm.
I do understand people say, oh, they feel a certain way about talking to people like that. There's nothing wrong with that because you can talk to anybody you want. It's something everybody should do. I think.
Yeah,
I
I
think
definitely agree.
talking to a therapist. Actually, I think it should be mandatory by law. Personally, I think it helps
Yeah.
everybody. I was one of those people like I ain't not talking to those motherfuckers poking in my fucking head.
Samaritans. Contact Samaritans. I don't know what it is over there, but over here it's called Samaritans.
Here it's called therapist.
No.
Samar-
If you need help in an emergency and you want to top yourself, right? There is an emergency number you can call. Samaritans.
Oh,
Personally,
Samaritans. Oh.
they didn't help me, but
Mm.
literally, as I said, I tried talking to them, and I didn't feel better after. I still wanted to end it. So, you know what I mean?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I'm dealing with something right now, and I want to, because I don't want it over here. I will say, life is so precious. Is no point. Everybody has a purpose in this planet. I will tell you that. Because to eliminate yourself out of this planet is not the answer. Because there's a place that you were born, there's a time you were born and there's a time you die.
Mhm.
And when it's your final breath, but you're not gonna like take yourself out of the equation. Because I know that life could be rough, I will say. Sometimes life could throw you so much struggles and so much stuff that like you cannot put up with. Um and I know that a lot of people go through this, and especially especially around this type of weather, I will say, especially you don't get that much sun or any type of season. It makes them more depressed. Um and it's not good. This is why it's crucial to talk to somebody. Somebody could be a close friend, it could be a therapist, a close friend will suggest to you to talk to a therapist, it's never good to hold it in, because when you hold it in, it started to break you up, and then you realize something is building up inside. It's killing inside. This is why human life is precious. This is why I don't like it's for men and women, because
Um,
that's not the final answer. And unfortunately, some people could have a nice bright smile, but behind closed doors, you don't even know what this person's going through. So this is why it hurts that, sometimes it takes a while for a person to open up, to know that this person's going through something.
sorry, Pete, look in the back. I put a link. What I was on about. But carry on, sweetheart. Sorry.
Go ahead, Marianne. Finish what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
carry on.
And it's the thing is, that's not the final solution.
Um,
And something that, and it's kind of sad, because I know that it's happening towards men, which is very sad, and also women. So this is why that's not the way to go. And this is why you need support. This is why you need somebody that you have a listening ear to listen. And if you need to vent, to vent. If you need help, you need help. Whatever the case is, you cannot go through a struggle yourself. No matter what it is. That's not the final solution. This is why human life is precious. Life is precious. This is why it's to hear that. I know it's I could argue and say things, but then after that I say, you know what, let me walk away. But arguing doesn't get me it's tiring, it's exhausting. So
um,
um to hear that, it's I will say, it's not for an individual, you do it for an individual. I think it's you have a purpose. Everybody has a purpose. You don't know, you don't see it yet, but everybody has a purpose on this planet of ours. So um yeah, because we have a purpose. We whatever it could be, you could do a little small deed helping out. You could open a door and be kind for. You could help out the elderly woman to walk across the street. Whatever everybody has a purpose. So that's the way I look at it.
And that is true, because everybody has their reason to be around, the reason to do
Mm-hmm.
something. You can't just give up like that.
Yeah.
Go
the
ahead.
reason what led me up to doing what I was doing, everything was taken from me.
Mm-hmm.
My family was taken from me, my home, my job,
Mm.
everything was taken from me. I had nothing left. Yeah, my kids were taken to me by the government. All right, so my ex had done a runner at the time. Basically, I said, lost my job, lost my home. I had nothing left.
Mm.
So that's what led me to it, and now I'm married to her. Unfortunately, that's a joke.
She's gonna slap you again.
She probably can't hear me with her two earpieces in her head.
Mhm.
Oh, you're so lucky right now.
Hey, Nikki. Oh, you can hear. He wants you to slap me. Oh, fucking hell. That was the lie, but yeah.
I can slap you if you want.
Oh, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a demonstration of a DV. This is a demonstration of a fucked up marriage.
I'll do it anyway.
That was a weak one, actually.
That was a weak one, he just said.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, next time you can spank my backside if you like.
Yeah. All right. I'll be honest with you guys about one thing. And Marianne, please don't take this personal.
Mhm.
But some women will go out of their fucking ways to fuck up men's lives.
Yeah.
I'll give you a great example. You guys familiar with J. David Frank? Any chance?
No, not really.
How about you, Greg? Are you familiar with the Green Ranger original?
No,
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
White
Sorry.
Ranger? Greg?
no.
The Power
Oh,
Rangers.
Power Rangers. Yeah.
Power Rangers. Yeah.
So he was. You could say a lot of things about JGF. You could say he's an asshole. He said he was a good guy. Whatever you want to say. I
Mhm.
can't go speak. I met him. It wasn't the greatest experience, but I want to talk shit about people have passed. But what
Yeah.
I will say, he was definitely there for his kids and everything, right?
Mm.
So there are a lot of different stories. What happened in his marriage? Again, I'm not here to judge that, but he was pushed to his limits so hard that
Mhm.
he took the worst decision out, and you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
We should never have to get to that point. But let's switch gears a little bit because I don't want to be all depressive with that, with
Mhm.
deletion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Motivation should be self motivated at times,
Mhm.
but sometimes you need a little what's the word I'm looking at? Kick in the ass.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to look in the mirror and talk to yourself out of it.
Mhm.
That kick in the ass, like I said. If you look in the mirror and realize you're your own worst enemy, the worst person, you won half the battle.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
People give up way too easy these days.
Mhm.
I see these kids want everything handed to them. And it's not like that, unfortunately, in the real world. We all
Yeah.
know that. Nothing's handed to us like that. So we have to definitely fight harder than ever. Does that make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Greg. You can go first.
I got nothing. My brain's just, as I said, my brain's fried. But yeah, if you've got problems, there's help out there if you need it, right? Like this site, I don't know if Pete's allowed to show it or not, but there's this site here, which is my site for the UK. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're feeling suicidal, if you want to
And
talk
say
to
that
someone,
word on YouTube, Greg, please.
sorry. All right. If you're feeling about deleting yourself, they're the people to call. But that's for the UK. I don't know what it's like in the US. I don't know what they call it in the US, but they're here to help. They're here to listen. Any time of the day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're there to talk.
We have a
Mhm.
similar thing. I just can't say the name on it because of the YouTube policy. We have a similar of percent preventing sis- uh preventing.
Deleting.
Thank you. For the US side. And there are a lot of systems and programs out there to if you need it.
Mhm.
And there are multiple programs out there, believe it or not.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, how do you break that cycle? You go first, Greg, because I know you've been through hell a lot in your life.
Well, I went through my mum's ex-partner beating me. Two of my mum's ex-partners doing that, plus one of her ex-partners decided to go at her with a knife and end up sticking it into the dog.
Oh my God.
No joke. And he still survived till he was about 11 and a half years old. And then we had to put him to sleep because certain problems with his body was creating bone, and it was making it uncomfortable. And having to have him go through that would have literally been so uncomfortable for him. So the humane thing was to put him to sleep. But he was an old dog, golden retriever, 11 and a half years old, plus arthritis. It's not nice. But anyway, I went through a lot in my life. You know all this, Pete. You know my past.
Mm-hmm.
I lost a lot. I've had people put me down. I've had my mum's partner beat the living crap out of me for literally no reason. Yeah. I've had her ex-partner do the same. They both went for her, but her other partner went for my older brother, my younger brother, went for my mum all the time. All of us. And then we moved to a pub, which made it worse. He physically put my mum in hospital. I think I was only a teenager back then. Anyway, but the government took my firstborn from me right at the age of 16, which screwed my head up. Because of my mum's family. They did it again with my secondborn, and they used the same reasoning again, my mum's family. Managed to get our son with her, which the government don't even know that we're together, apart from being married. I'm not even on the birth certificate. So, but it's he currently lives with her sister because at the time other things happened. We were both homeless and we were living with this guy. There was no place for bringing up kids. But life was absolutely terrible. It really was. I met my ex before her. I was beaten in this very room by her, literally over there. The only times I've ever laid my hands on a woman was literally physically restraining her on the bed. You don't hit women, wrong. And literally the whole time, because of my mum's exes and my upbringing and losing my kids, I started drinking and trying to top myself multiple times. Why I kept going on, I don't know. But before I met her, as I said, I was absolutely paralytic. I got in the car and she took the keys away from me. And literally, Beachy Head is basically a massive cliff. And I was going to time myself out. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. For people like myself, there is help out there, and I did try and it didn't help. They called the police on me. The police didn't do nothing, but make my situation worse. So, nothing was going my way. Nothing. I saw nothing but end up going down, and I just wanted to time out. But anyway, as I said, met her. My life looked up. I started back in work. I got home. I felt loved. I felt wanted. I did stupid things. She put me right. But yeah, I'm still here now. Thanks to her.
Mariana?
I'm sorry. What's the question?
Oh shit! I brain fart. Greg, help me out here. My brain just took a shit on me.
What was the question? What to do with the channel? I can't remember myself.
You wanted to run into there for a minute. That's
Just-
right.
Just go on.
Just go on.
You should have
I
stopped me.
mean, like I will say, I mean, life, as I say, sometimes life is going to be up and down. You know, sometimes it's going to be a smooth ride, sometimes it's going to be a rough ride. I remember this is like many, many years ago. This is like in, oh my God, I'm trying to remember what year was this? 1994. The year before 1994, my father used to had a bakery business.
Mm-hmm.
But then after a year later, in like 93, my mom fell on concrete steps in front of the building. And then she cannot perform her job as a superintendent. Superintendent basically clean two buildings, throwing out the garbage, make sure the lobbies look very clean and nice. And basically, our world was falling apart. So my father lost the bakery business. We find out somebody was stealing underneath him that work under, and that explains a lot. Cannot. Then he opened a second bakery business while he had the first one. Then he cannot able to afford it, so he lost both of them. Then my mom cannot do her job as a superintendent. Then the landlord saw that my mom cannot do her job because her back, you fell on concrete steps on your back. You got a herniated disc. And then after that, since she cannot do her job as a superintendent, they gave us an eviction notice by the New York City Marshal posting our door. They say you got 48 hours to be evicted.
Hmm.
So we were not ready. We were trying to pack our stuff, but we were, at the time, I'm trying to remember what month was it, late August or September of 94. And I remember there were 13 cops at our house. Okay. I was a teenager when this happened. And we don't know what we're going to do, where we're going to go. We had a lot of our belongings. We have our furniture, our clothing, our, memories and everything. And my father asked him, we come back and pick our stuff. We may pick few things, not everything. At the time, we had a station wagon. You don't see those anymore here in America. Maybe very rare. But we grab what we can. And the next day, they decided to throw all our belongings. We were so upset because we had a lot of clothing. So we only had, a few clothes in our back, and that was it. And and I asked my mom, what we going to do? What we going to do? The landlords, they were laughing when we got kicked out. It was like five of us little kids. I was the oldest one. I was like 12 years old at the time, 11, 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So it just, to me, uh, like, even though they say, oh, it's a long time ago, yeah, but that's the first time to
It's trauma. So
experience.
it's trauma. It still bothers you.
Yeah, it still bothers me because it's something that you don't forget. You know what I mean? And you also not to, God forbid, not to go through that. That was because I remember, I never forget the words from my mother was yelling at my father, how you let this happen? How you let this happen? Like how it was like, it was devastating to see, like, it's almost like frustration and sadness in her voice.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's not something you don't, because we had everything going for us, but then everything like fell apart. But then, I also, when I was a kid, I say to myself, I didn't expect to be like kicked out, being like, forced to be out. Almost like basically we were like homeless, but not homeless. Thank God we had, relatives, but they also give us hard time.
Of
I
course.
heard, my aunt was talking crap about my mom, and then my uncle was criticizing my father. Why the hell you don't find a house in Queens? Why you don't live in Queens? This and that. It was back and forth, back and forth. So, and of course, that's usually family does that. They're always gonna start pinpointing the blame and criticize you every minute, and then because we were staying a couple weeks at my aunt's house after got kicked out because we were crying. We were like sad because your kids, when you're a little child, you don't understand. Like all five of us wondering what is going on. Where are we gonna go? Like we didn't want it. The last thing is being the street. So this is why like I say to myself, I'm gonna keep pushing forward, even though it's a constant reminder. We kind of, because we went I mean, even though that was the battle, but then after settling that part of the area that we live, wasn't a good area. That part of the Bronx. For 7.5 years of hell. My brother got picked on in school. My sister got picked on in school. Uh, it was difficult. My father tried to protect my brother, and then all the kids jumped on him. Then my father removed one of the kids off my brother, and then my father got, uh, oh my God, got framed by a kid. But the kid actually scratched himself and framed him, and then my father got arrested. So I'm gonna tell you, there's no, I don't know. There's some people are not civil in this world. So it's so messed up. So a
Mhm.
kid would like to frame my father and got arrested. And then the father of that child said, "Do not touch." I said, "I didn't lay a hand on him." When my father trying to protect my brother. So, I mean, and then I told my father, when I was like, how old I was, like 18. He asked me, because at the time my sister had her appendix removed. She was in a hospital for a month. And it was around December, I remember. I say, so I mean, and then I told my father, um, what I was about to say. In December of 2000, this is like years go by. I say we need to move. I say if we don't move, because we were there 7.5 years. I don't see no future. And I also say to him, which is kind of crazy coming from me as a teenager, I say, one of your kids gonna end up in jail.
Mhm.
That's what I told him. Because there's no future, because you're getting picked on. There's, where the hell, I don't see myself, if I go to college, will not be over there.
Yeah. All right,
So,
Mariana, let's bring this guy in because he's been
okay.
waiting patiently in the back. Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
please rise for our president.
Ow!
My God.
Did that twice. No.
You gotta have brain damage by now. How many times you hit yourself in one show?
Well, I have been told that I have got brain damage, so.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Paul, what's going on, my man? How are you?
Just busy. We got a big, got some carpet and floor installs coming in tomorrow, so we're just doing some last minute things, cleaning up rooms and getting rid of stuff, getting ready for tomorrow. So I'll probably be up even after tonight. I'll be still putting some things away. So.
Oh, are you guys doing it with all this snow still?
Well, yeah, well, my driveway is pretty clear now. So, and I confirmed that the date's still on. So yeah, so they're still gonna come in and do it.
I'm a little surprised. That's all. All right. So you came in at a perfect time. She goes, so we're bringing the show in two sections. We're going into phase 2 now. The phase 1 is this word. Why do we think we're not good enough? But now phase 2, and this is a perfect time because this is perfect for you because I know how motivation person you believe in self motivation. Correct, Paul?
Yeah, I would say so.
So by that said, is the second phase? Yes, you're not good enough, but now that was first phase. Second phase is you are good enough. That's what we're going to be talking about in this part of the show. So, do you want to take the lead on that one?
I'm still searching for context. So, you said the first part of the show was that you're not good enough. So,
Yeah,
what?
people are putting you down, bullying you, all that stuff.
Right.
Past trauma. So, how can we take past trauma and turn it around and actually use it as motivation, in other words, or fuel for fire to make yourself?
Well, I don't even know if you can. I don't know if that works long term.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, people say that a lot. That kind of, it's hard to stay motivated for a long period of time being angry. At least in my view, that may stir you for a bit. But again, if you constantly dwell on that, even when you win, in a lot of ways, you're still a loser because you haven't dealt with your trauma, or you haven't developed a more well-balanced perspective, and you just become an angry winner. I think, there's such thing as poor losers. I think there's poor winners also. And if that win is based on I showed them, if those people are no longer there, then what do you have? I mean, you base your whole success on people who really weren't worthy of your time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that kind of negative motivation, it wears. I think just stacking wins, because again, a lot of those people, especially back in the day, they're not even around anymore. And so just looking forward and just being consistent and certainly, in my case, I can honestly say, in fact, I was just listening to another panel before I got on here. Sometimes there is some luck involved. Well, now, if you want to call it luck, if you want to call it godly inhibition, you want to call it grace, mercy, whatever you want to call it. But that's the thing about it also, because you realize that, a lot of people out there talking about that they're self-made. And I think that's a bridge too far. Most of us, we got to break somewhere, fortune or fate or favor or whatever you want to call it came our way. And I think that in a lot of ways that keeps us humble, so that we're not getting full of ourselves. I did this and I did that. So it's just a matter of just constantly winning. And when you win and when you start to see fruit of your labors because you've been consistent over time, you start feeling better about yourself. I felt last in a lot of respects. In fact, let me just show you guys something. I've never done this, but I just want to show you guys this here. So that was me at 16 years old. I was a crew chief at McDonald's.
Holy shit.
And I might have been 6'1" at the time, maybe 130, 135 pounds. Bullied, picked on. Girls thought I was too skinny. My nose was too big. I was too nerdy. And in fact, I showed that picture to my daughter recently, and she was like, kind of like, oh, cool. But yeah, it's like, yeah, you needed some seasoning. You weren't finished yet. So my own daughter wouldn't have picked me back in the day because, this is what I look like, and so I wasn't popular. But I just kept doing my thing. I was the first one in my family to graduate from a 4-year university. My brother didn't finish. My sisters went to community college, 2-year community colleges. I got into IT. I got some breaks, and I was able to make a career out of it. And I just kept pushing. A few years later, I got into a major auto accident. Had me down for a while, almost lost my leg. And I had to overcome a lot of things. That's why I got my spiritual life in order. Mm-hmm. And then slowly but surely, things just started building from there. I met my wife, and that was that was a game changer. Got married, became a father, continued to excel in my career. And I just kept winning. And then what I started seeing was a lot of those people who I thought were cooler than me, hipper than me, better than me, they kind of fell by the wayside. But I didn't spend a whole lot of time thinking about those people. I just continued to do and press on and just, continue to do the best I could. But this guy right here, bullied all the time. But I overcame that. And like I said, I didn't really start feeling good about myself, though the journey was long. I didn't really start feeling good about myself until I was in my 40s. Because again, I felt like in that picture, I felt I was like in last place. I didn't have a girlfriend. No, if I asked, nobody wanted to date me. There was just a lot of things going on. And, obviously when stuff I had, my mom, I was with my mom until I was about 13, 14, lived with my dad. And he was, he wasn't a nurturer. I'll just say that. But I just kept doing me. I just kept persistent. There were just certain things I wanted to do in life. I wanted to be better. I wanted to, leave my circumstances. I got around some good people, some good fraternal brothers from Rutgers. I got around good business leaders who had, right mindset, some good spiritual counselors and advisors. And I just kept doing me. So I know what it means to be labeled and called not good enough. And to the point now where I think I am good enough, but it's not even that. It's like, I don't care. I am just happy being me. I am complete in myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I am now Eric says he never saw me bullied, but again, I met Eric in 85. You didn't see me in 84. Or before I shortly got there, I was in Franklin in 83. So you didn't see a lot of that stuff that was going on. Or you didn't, but certainly 83, 84, early 85, before we met like summer 85. It was after the school year. That's when we really started hanging out. So you didn't see a lot of stuff because I didn't know you until then. But it was there. So this guy, yeah, I mean, I know what it is. But again, if I constantly focused on the people who would bully me all the time, or I'm sure them, I don't think I would have turned out the way I don't think I would have turned out the way that I've been. So again, I just think that, but even the old idea of good, I don't even call myself good. I'm just myself. I try to be the best version of myself, and I feel good about myself because I know who I am and I know whose I am, and that's enough. You want to call me good, go ahead, or things about me that are noteworthy, go ahead. I just stopped caring after a while. But again, I put my focus on those who do matter: my wife, my kids, my friends, those who really matter to me. I kind of put my emphasis there. But to go with the, anger though, it's a toxic motivator. It'll get you through for a while, but it can eat you up after a while if you keep indulging it. So I just kind of want to show that, that picture. But yeah, it's been a long process.
That I will give you that one thing. I'm going to agree with you 100% tonight. Is the anger is not a great motivator. It's poison, I think, to your brain eventually over time. It will just eat you up and eat you up and eat you up and eat you up, and eventually something's going to explode inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anger should be a motivator. What I will say, if you have a goal, in your case was to get married at one point, right, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, several. I mean, certainly you can have a career, basically get out of my circumstances.
1,000 goals you have. You have multiple. I mean, probably you want to, kids, house, the whole 9 yards, like what you have now. But I'm using one of the few you have. Let's use you getting married or your career. You want to get a good career for yourself. Whatever that could be motivation for you to push you forward. What I always use, like, if you have time to talk about me, make fun of me, talk shit behind my back, I already won. Because you take time out of your day to talk shit about me. Thank you. Because I made an impression in your life and you're obsessed with me. So now you can kiss my hairy Greek ass. You can pick which cheek you want to kiss, the left, the right, or the middle. You can pick one. I don't give a shit. Because you have time to talk about me. Greg, fuck off. So you have time to talk about me. So you just made me feel a lot better because you just talk. If I have take time for you just to think about me, I already won the battle. So I have nothing to be angry about. People who, and I'm gonna move on from this back to the original topic, is that bully, picked, whatever you want to call it. They're technically mentally weak to do that. I prefer hanging out with the geeks because those guys are gonna, be eventually cool guys, like you are, Paul. You were a geek as a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And look at you now. People look up to you, most likely, right?
Few do.
Yeah. And now, the fucked up part, look at him literally, too, because he's a tall motherfucker. I hate you right now, Paul. The two ways to look up to you. More of it, more look up, oh, he's a good man. And literally look up because he's fucking tall as shit. You get two different ways. But my point is trying to get to is if that, like I said to Marianne earlier, this might not make sense to you, Paul, but it made sense for Mariana. I think for Greg too. If you have two roads, all right, you got A and B here, right? A is the easy way, but he's not as much reward in the end. B is hard, but you get a lot of more rewards in the end. Which one would you pick?
B.
And I asked you, dum.
I mean, I would pick B, but again, that's going to be different for every person. I mean, that's it. So I think my wife. If you ask my wife, she might have picked A. Like I said, my wife is not she's not like a driven person. A life of ease for her is, and she's just and she's just fine. She doesn't want a complicated life, so she may choose A versus kind of going through hardship to get to something that's never been like her. Just how she moves. But she's never been like a driver. She's never been like this A personality. I got to get. That's just not. That's not how she rolls. So.
Well, if you had asked me that 10, 15 years, 15, 20 years ago, I would have said A.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get what you're saying, Paul, because everybody's not go-getter. In other words, like your wife just said.
Yeah.
But I think most of us on the panel are go-getters. That we want the better thing in our next lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know my next goal is to get a house eventually.
Well, that changes. I think that changes some too. And again, it may depend on your age. Like I said, I mean, you're like, I still got you, but like 15, 16 years. So you're going to come to a point in life where, again, being content is ultimately what you are. Like, again, the go-getter part. Yeah, your 20s, your 30s, even into your 40s, you may have that. But I do think there's a point where, because, again, you can get to a point, especially if either you haven't achieved what you wanted yet, or you're constantly in the process, but, again, you don't get a chance to appreciate kind of what you have. So I think you just get to a point where, again, to live in the present and be with contentment, I think is certainly where I'm at now. You guys are younger than me, so maybe you guys still have that kind of pep, and you just chasing the bag, chasing the whatever, those kind of ambitions. I'm not saying that I'm still not. I have an active mind. I have a mind that's still, I'm not settling down, but I do appreciate the present. I do appreciate what's in front of me. Health, just contentment, with relationship with my spouse, my kids, there's just certain things where, again, 'cause, you can go after something only for so long. And even if you achieve it, success is fairly short-lived. You know what I mean? Like, you win a championship in anything. Yeah, you might be on that euphoria for the weekend or maybe a week afterwards, like anybody who's won a championship in anything. And it's like us a week later, the buzz, the high goes off. But what do you have at the end of the day? What did you sacrifice in order to get that? And was it worth it at the end of the day to get it? Now, some people will make a Faustian deal to win at all costs. But again, what are you left with at the end of the day? So I think you're, as you age, and this whole conversation, this might be This might really depend on where you're at age wise, status wise, the things that you're looking forward to. Like I remember, like I would have goals like on my refrigerator and whatnot. I'm going to be a millionaire by 30. I just put that in there. Like I had these ambitions, and I was just going to be in certain places and things. And I'm not saying that mindset wasn't helpful, because what it certainly did was it gave me a level of discipline to keep me out of things that would go against that. You know what I mean? If I was a heavy drinker, smoker, drug user, philanderer or whatever, those wouldn't be conducive to those type of goals. If those are the goals that I was setting. So it definitely, that kind of self-discipline kept me probably out of some things, out of some situations that I otherwise possibly would have got into. So in that, it's a good thing. Did I achieve a lot of that stuff? I probably made millions in my career, but am I a millionaire? No. But again, it's I've heard this quote one time. It says the idea that a man or woman, it's not what you get from the it's not what you earn from the achievement, it's what you became through the achievement. Like everybody wants to be Arnold Schwarzenegger or whatever, and you may have that kind of discipline, but you're only going to get to where you're going to get to. Not everyone can be Arnold because you don't have the genetic disposition to be Arnold. But did you become a better version of yourself in the
I want to be
process?
like you, Paul.
But I'm saying, you may not get there. But again, did you become better because you applied yourself and had some self-discipline? And can you appreciate that, the discipline that you achieved? And and that's what I'm saying. You have to start to appreciate yourself, the person that you are, the person that you've become. I may not have gotten here, but I'm definitely a lot better off than where I started. And I think that's a good place to be in. And you can be proud of the fact that I didn't succumb to certain influences or temptations that a lot of other guys probably did when they were younger. And some of those guys, unfortunately, are not around anymore, literally. Yeah, they were chasing the fast life or whatever. I didn't. But where are they now? So again, these are things that, again, as you age, as you get older, like I said, I never hit all the goals that I wanted, but I achieved a few, and I'm good with that. So again, I think that's a perspective that you get when you get older. I mean, in almost all metrics, I'm better than, I guess, what do you call the average, right? In terms of earning power, in terms of health, in terms of marital status, in terms of, pick your whatever marker you want to pick. And I'm good with that. So at the end of the day, you can just keep, I want this, I want that, just hitting it. But who's around you,
I know, Mariano, you gotta go. Let me finish what I'm gonna say, and you can go. I agree with you most of it. The reason I say that, because when I was younger, it was just whatever. Now, spending time with my loved ones,
Brilliant.
with my friends,
Babe.
Comic-Con meant the world to me. You know that. Spending time with this bozo next to me, it means a lot. Yeah, go ahead, make a comment, bozo. But even talking
No,
to
it
you
wasn't
guys
that. I
do
was
this
looking
show.
up something and I was calling Nick and I forgot I was off mic. I was
Not
on-
you, the other bozo. You're not. No,
Oh.
not. She's bozo.
Oh, her. Sorry, I thought you were talking
Oh,
to me.
yeah.
I am a bozo.
But me picking on you guys, that's all for fun, and you guys know that. I don't mean anything by it.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
those
rubbish.
moments, I learned this a few years ago. Do you remember when I went to the? I don't know if you remember. I went to the stand-up comedian show down the street from my house. Brett Williams. Oh no,
Not sure.
Maybe.
I don't recall.
Anyway, so before the show opened up, and this is the second time I've seen this. I saw Fluffy a few years back live, and both shows had no cameras, no pictures, no videos. I go, this kind of sucks. I'm like, I love to take some footage for the channel and stuff like that. So, but it said one thing. As they're saying, they're a little just like going across. They go and says, please, we don't like you taking videos or cameras because he's working on new material, blah blah blah. Just live in the moment.
Mhm.
The first one I saw that, I didn't really understand that. Later, a few years later, I see it again, and then I kind of understand it. This is my second comedy show I went to.
Mhm.
Live in that moment. Just have fun. Forget the fucking technology. Forget, damn, the dog peed on the fucking carpet again. Or, the dog won't shut up barking all day at night. That's actually true for Apollo. But, stuff like that. It snowed 2 goddamn feet. I got to go shovel. And just sit back, have a cup of hot cocoa, and just watch the snow come down. I enjoy doing that sometimes, to be honest with you, Paul.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I'm learning that too, because especially like when I travel, like it used to be for me, like if we went anywhere, it was like you had to be busy, right? You get this, and this. We got to see this, and we got to do this, and we got to do this. It's like you're exhausted from the vacation.
You need a vacation from your vacation.
Exactly, but can you go somewhere and just rest, just take in God's creation and just pause? That took me a long time to do, because my thing was, well, there's no guarantee that we'll even get back to this place. So I want to kind of get the most squeeze out of it. So we got to do this, and this. And now I'm to the point now where, again, there's times where, again, my wife and I, we will get away and do absolutely nothing. Just to be able to get out of the house and away and disconnect from the routine and the mundane. And we're good for that. And so for the last 3 years, we've been doing that.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Well, this is the same reason why I go to Maryland every year. Just to unplug. Just to hang out. Last year, I went to Maryland. So I went a day early last year, and I'm going to probably do the same this year. So I went up there, and, so you can tell them, listen, if you can keep yourself entertained, I don't care if you come a day early. Just figure things out, because I got to work. Cool, no problem. I said to him, I'm going to go down to DC the next day and just go hang out, go sightseeing. I've been there before, but I wanted to see it again. It's been a couple of years since I've been in this main DC area. Did I do that? No. I just end up staying in bed, just relaxing, hanging out. Went outside, sit out outside, listen to some music, did something here, some there. Before I know it, he's like, I got done at work early. You want to play some video games? Or I don't know what we did, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I just relaxed and enjoy the moment. And that's, to me, better than anything. But I want to get Mariana from her thoughts really fast. She needs to get out of here. Go ahead, Mariana. Put your 2 cents in here, girl.
My 2 cents? Okay. You are enough. No matter what it is. And if you're not having the highest expectation, you are enough. No matter what it is. If you love whatever you do, you are enough. If you love how you look, but if you don't love, you're not. If you don't, if you don't feel good, change. Like, meaning to feel good about yourself inside and out. Whatever the case is, you are enough. So never always speak positive to yourself. If you want to speak positive, look through the mirror. I will say, I'm the best. I know that, I will overcome. So the way I look, for somebody say, if you're good enough, I will say I'm good enough. Like, I'm enough. Like, I know that I am, no matter what life throws me, just have to get through it. Take it day by day. Don't let it. Don't let these people that have like say negative comments. Just ignore it. Just keep going. Um, and I will say it's not worth letting it get through your head and it like playing replay. There's no point of that, because that all it does, it just drains you. It does not motivate you. So you always have to say, I am enough, I am good enough. And you always have somebody that always in your corner, no matter who it is, a friend, spouse, whatever, partner, always say, you got this. You always have to, that's that motivation. And also never give up. Always that you are good enough, no matter what it is. And if you expect better for yourself, if it's what you settle for, is what you settle for. But you are enough and you're good, whatever your case is. If you love yourself, then I mean, that's that's you can't expect more. And sometimes you have to accept. And if you want to improve yourself, and especially, it's not only on the point of improving, but it's also sometimes could be a physical and also a mental note. So it's all elements. So that's my 2 cents.
All right, Marina, thanks for coming up. I will see you soon. All right.
Alrighty.
Stay out of trouble.
Yep.
Nice to get to see you again, sweetheart.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Now, where are my notes? Let me get my notes out here, because I have a couple of things I want to speak of.
The old man lost his notes.
I have your wife clock you over the head.
She
Oh, where are they?
can't even see you, let alone hear you.
Okay, not being good enough. Where is the? Wait, I'm gonna rephrase that. When you start saying you are good enough, where does your mindset need to go first?
Where does your mindset need to be?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Like I said, I think I focus just on the activity. I mean, I never, I mean, I think I went through a period also where I kind of got into some self-talk type of things. I'm good, saying things to myself, positive affirmations and things of that nature. I think it's about the work, man. I mean, I would much rather see it than you talk it. So again, what are you doing on a daily basis to improve your situation? I mean, Coach and I on our Thursday show, we talk about this idea of pies, right? Physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual health. What are you doing on a regular basis that improves those things? And my thing is, as long as if you're in pursuit of those things, you don't have to go around saying you're gonna. It will be evident. And so, I mean, people, talk a good game, but then again, where's the fruit? I mean, I'm looking at your fruit. I'm not looking at, again, your words. So again, as far as the mindset, it's like, is the mindset on the task at hand? What do you want? What are your goals in each one of those 4 areas? You want to improve your overall physical health and conditioning. What active steps, what positive things are you doing towards that? Intellectual, what are you putting into your mind? What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you, studying? Emotionally, I think it's going to be a byproduct of certainly the first 2 and even the third. Now, again, I'm not saying you necessarily have to believe in a higher power or whatever, but what do you? If that, whatever it is, if that, how you view yourself in light of that power, like if you think you're, from our, if you think you've been fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God, yeah, that should have an impact on how you see yourself, but it's not in and of yourself. It's because, God created you. I mean, if you believe that. But ultimately, again, it's got even that, because I've seen a lot of hyper spiritual people who will quote the Bible up and down, and they still don't have the fruit. They're still angry. They're still bitter. They're still arrogant. They're still cocky. They're still just a lot of things that just let me know that they're not. Again, they can talk a good game, and they can talk all the Bible talk and quote the scriptures. But are you living the scriptures? Are you at peace with God, and are you at peace with your fellow man? Are you at peace with yourself? But again, I think a lot of that comes through action. And again, you have to be consistent and see it over time. So am I good enough? Like I said, I'm past that now. I don't care if you think I'm a good person or not. I'm still gonna love my family. I'm still gonna do the things that I'm committed to doing. And I don't, I've almost kind of outgrown the label. But I just live out my faith. I mean, love God and love my neighbor as myself. And that's really where it is. Me being good or saying I'm good, what does that have to really do with anything? I'm just at an age now where I just see things a bit different.
All right, Greg, you're up, man. You're muted, bud.
I know. To be honest, where the hell can I top that, man? How the hell can I top that? All I can say is if you want to have a best not mindset, is sort yourself out. Make sure you're in a good place to do anything worthwhile. Apart from that, you can't really do much if you're not in a good place.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, good is a judgment, right? I mean, what's the measure? Or who's measuring? Or what are you measuring against?
Well,
we never, at least as far as I came to this conversation, nobody defined what that is. Am I good enough? Who's measuring? By what standard are we even measuring someone's good? One of the guys from back in the day, the bully from back in high school or something like that, or the girl who thought you thought was so hot back in the day, and now she's not hot anymore.
I never had anyone give me any positives ever until I met her. My whole life was always gone.
But I'm saying, even when you use the term good, like what does that even mean?
Every time I tried to turn anything good, my younger brother or someone else would turn it evil.
But you misunderstand what Paul's trying to say.
Sorry.
What? The judgment of you being good. Who is the person judging you?
It should be yourself.
There you go. Am I right, Paul?
In part, yeah, yourself. And like I said, I mean, if you're religious, if you have like a God standard, that you go by, but again, something higher than you, then that's one thing. If you're a secular humanist, then I guess you go by, whatever secular humanists consider good, being kind to others. But again, it aligns with the biblical view anyway. Again, are you kind? Do you treat people with respect? I think that's basically the sum of the law anyway. Love your neighbor as yourself, golden rule kind of stuff, whether you're religious or not, it works. But when people say that you're not good enough, like I said, I wasn't big enough. I wasn't cool enough. I wasn't hip enough. I didn't have enough money. All those things that were said about me when I was in high school by people who at the end of the day, I don't even think about.
That's funny, Paul, the high school thing. Because in high school, you always want to be the popular kid, hang out with everybody. But once you graduate high school, not maybe right away, over time, slowly, all those friends drift away. You don't.
Yeah.
You may bump into them in a mall or on Facebook. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. Blah blah blah. Whatever, and that's it. excuse me, those friends that you said high school friend, your best friend from high
They were
school,
just they were there for us. They were there for a minute, and they move on.
their
Like I
memories.
said, I've said in the past, and I'll keep saying it. If you have one or two friends, real friends in your life, genuine, regardless of the time or the space, you're a fortunate person. People come into your life for reasons. People come into your life for seasons, and then they're gone. So you have so again, this idea of measuring good. I would rather you say what I do well. If you said, Paul, I appreciate this about you, or you have a specific attribute about, I appreciate that a lot more than saying that I'm a good person. I feel very uncomfortable sometimes when people come up to me and says, you're such a good person. I'm like, if you really understood what sometimes the thoughts that I have up here sometimes are that aren't necessarily very good.
Quite scary.
So I'm just saying, I mean, what do we, like I said, the whole thing, what are we measuring for? But do you take care of your people? Do you take care of your responsibilities as an adult? Do you honor your commitments? How good is your word? Are you honest? Do you respect people? And do you, in return, you expect a certain amount of respect given back to you? Outside of that, again, I don't, like I said, that label, and like I said, especially happens with a lot of, again, heroes of mine. They say you should never meet your heroes. Because again, sometimes we in our minds, we talk about how great these people are, and at the end of the day, you realize they were just people too. They had flaws. They had issues. They had drug problems. They had whatever. But the media and whatever just made them bigger than life. You're like, oh, wow. That's why I stopped wearing certain things. Like I used to wear like a famous person T-shirt, like Muhammad Ali, like one of my, he was like one of my heroes. But I learned some things about Muhammad Ali that were kind of tough to deal with. Bruce Lee, same thing. Bruce Lee's like, again, I mean, icon. And he's an icon in the world of martial arts, but on the flip side, he was a very weak individual and a drug addict, and it's more than likely that drug use is ultimately what took him out. So how do I judge that? How do I say Bruce Lee was a good person? If a guy is successful in business, but he's a serial cheater, philanderer with other women, how do I judge that? Yeah, he balls. He's the best athlete. He's the best business person. He's the best speaker. He's the best this. But does your family even know who you are? How do I call you good? So I like, for me, the label, the more I've lived and gone on and seen, I've seen how the sausage is made. In a lot of instances, I've seen the underbelly of how institutions work, how politics sometimes works, how churches sometimes work. I've seen the underbelly. But you have the storefront that says this. And then you find out years later that things weren't so kosher. How often you see the Yodas at a funeral for the dad or the parent that you loved so much, and you had this idea who they were, and you show up there, and the stepkids that you didn't even know about, they show up at the funeral too, and you're like, what do you do with that?
Like, I'll give you an example we were saying earlier about meeting your heroes. Growing up, I idolized JDF, also known as the White Ranger, Power Ranger, White, and so on and so on and so on. Years ago, and I think I told this story before on here. When I met him, he was a little bit of an asshole to me. I hate to say that because people say he was a great person. You get both reaction. He could have a bad day when I met him, or a good day, whatever that case was. But he was a little bit of an asshole to me that day. and it left a sour taste in my mouth for a couple years. And that was
Yeah.
like, wow, I actually looked up to this guy. Seriously. So after that, I was like, I would never put somebody on a Mount Olympus pedestal ever again.
Yeah.
They're in my level. So I
Yeah.
use a couple other examples like Hulk Hogan. Everybody looked up to him as
Yeah. Same here. I had the Hulkamania shirt. I was, I was in. And when I heard the tapes and the things he was saying, I was like, whoa, it's so again, and even then, it's like you can like someone can fall, right? I mean, yeah, they might have been back in the day, but again, over time, that's why I also appreciate consistency over time, consistency of character. How many people who were at the apex of their popularity and then they did something stupid and totally wrecked their lives? So again, so these are things that, hello. So these are things that you have to, you have to keep in mind. So again, I would much rather give you a compliment about something that you did. Hey, Craig, that was a great, I really appreciate, Craig, the way you take care of your wife. I really do.
I always put her first before myself.
And I'm saying I would rather. Now, is Craig good? I don't know because I'm not in his life. I'm not in his room. I'm not in his house. I'm not in his life on a regular basis. We just meet here in these spaces. I don't know.
it's kind of creepy if you are.
But I know he loves his wife and I know he takes care of her. He gets respect from me for that. So I'm just saying, so I think that to me, that's a better measure or better way to look at people. Hey, I like that presentation that you did. I like that. I like how you put that together. I like that solution you came up with. I appreciate the way you took care of your friends. I appreciate what Sparta did for us at Comic-Con and the way he took care of us and how he took us to dinner afterwards and we had that broke bread together. I really enjoy it and I appreciate him for that. That for me, when my wife says, like, I don't even like, I mean, she says it and I appreciate it. I don't even like it when she says, I love you. Because I'm like, what is that? Again, the way my mind works, I would rather you say what you love me for. I love the way you do this or that. Or I appreciate that you did this or that. To me, that goes a longer way in my view than saying I love you. Because to me, that's like that's in the emotional ether. I don't know where that goes. I don't know how deep it goes. And will it even last? You could be loving me today, but not loving me tomorrow over something. But when you say, I appreciate you, that to me goes a lot better. And if you could say, I appreciate you because of this and this and this, to me, that goes a lot more than I love you or just the generic terms that we kind of say to one another. When you can do a specific praise or specific compliment, that goes a whole lot better. And I don't have to get into that gray area of good or great or whatever. That's a great guy. That's a great woman. Based on what? But I appreciate, you know what, they took the time to speak to me and entertain me. I know they were busy, and they took the time to really talk to me and whatnot, and I really appreciate the interaction and whatnot, and I wish them nothing but the best. That, to me, is a much better way of summarizing the interaction. But to say, oh, that's a cool guy, that's a great guy, or whatever, you might have caught me on it, like I said, on a good day. Catch me on a bad day, would you still say the same thing? So good is something I think we're always, chasing. I would hope. I think even when we had Father Casadino in the gray area one time, I think he talked about salvation. If I recall, he said something to the effect of, with Orthodox faith, it's not this idea, okay, like, you're saved or whatever. It's like you go in with the hope and anticipation that you are saved. But can an Orthodox person know for sure 100% that they're going to heaven or be saved, you can't. So again, it's a much more humble position to say, and at least from what I recall from Father Constantino, that again, it is my hope that I am.
Yeah,
there.
you hit it right on the nail. What I was going to say was two things. One, for you, I would say you're always there to lend a listening ear. Just a bullshit, show stuff, be there for a friend, whatever the case is. You're always there to just have your ear opened up to somebody. So I give you kudos to that. I personally don't chase goodness. I chase being a better man for myself.
Yeah.
Knowing I take care of my mom, check.
Yep.
Paulo's good, check. My team is good, check. My work life is good, check. Anything else that I need to worry about comes in the end.
Yeah.
Pete always put himself in the end, and we had that conversation before.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is right now. But my point is trying to get to is chasing the goodness. You might never find that shit, but being a better man, there's more reality and more possibility. So maybe the show shouldn't have been about talking about
No. I'm glad you named it that way because again, I had a chance certainly to raise either rhetorically or whatever the question of goodness.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Look, let me hear me out for a second before you say anything. The show, yes, it is supposed to be. You're not good enough. Are you good enough? But the question was, like you raise, are you the man you want to be? End of the day. That's the answer. We all have to look in the mirror, hopefully dressed, not naked, and ask that question. Are you the man you want to be?
Yeah.
I'm still fixing a lot of things about myself. And I think that's one thing about being the man you want to be. You're in reality thinking, yes, I have things you need to change. Nobody's perfect. Let's be honest here, guys.
Right.
I'm far from perfect. Trust me.
I am.
All of us are. Yeah.
Shut up down there.
Did you say I am?
Yeah.
Man.
Don't tell me to shut up.
This guy.
I had to say
Reached your
something.
limit on
I'm sorry,
talking.
but I had to.
Shut the fuck up.
So, by being a better man, I think you're taking some pressure off you, trying to find that goodness. One time and I mentioned this multiple times before on the show, I believe. The first time I visited CQ at his new house in Maryland, I'm hanging out, and me and his wife were talking. He was in a meeting. We're just having a conversation. And she turned around like, I know you're a good man because you take care of your mother. I never thought about that, to be honest with you guys. That I'm a good man because of that. I thought that's what a man does. Take care of his family. I didn't think of it. And to this day, I still don't think it like that. I do what I need to do to make my family work. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
No, of course no. But the question is, what kind of mindset, and this will be the last question before we go into our final thought, what kind of mindset do we have to be in to change being good to being the right man for you? Paul, you want to take that first?
Repeat that question one more time.
What kind of mindset you have to be is to change the mindset of being a good man to being the man I want to be. That's a hard one, isn't it?
I mean, I think the question is self-answering. That's what the mindset is. The idea of stop focusing on being good, because again, good is a measure that I would say, again, outside of your God, you can't answer, or it may be a waste of time to, it may be a waste of time to pursue that. A better pursuit is, am I useful? Let's think about that. I mean, Am I useful? Am I useful to the world that's around me? Am I useful to my family? Am I useful to my friends? Am I useful to my peers in the office? Am I useful in society? And if I'm not very useful, how can I become more useful? And as I said earlier, I think a good way, a measure to do that is through your pies. A stronger, healthier individual is useful to everyone around them. A person who is useful intellectually is useful more around, because again, you can then become a source of knowledge, wisdom for someone else. Being emotionally stable is useful, especially when you have an environment where there's a lot of instability. I'm in a house with mostly women. It is useful that I am emotionally stable. If I got on their energy, this would be a very chaotic household.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that, where that comes from, again, spiritually. Growing spiritually, having greater understanding. And again, that idea of who I am and I'm good enough in his eyes, that goes for me, that goes a long way. And especially when you see other people who are quote unquote godly, and they're not, again, like I said, you meet some of these people and whatnot, and the way they move in private is not necessarily the public image that they possess. So again, the people who you think are so spiritual, really at the end, they're very short-sighted. The people who are hyper-religious, it's just an insecurity, or it's a desire for power. So again, I stopped measuring myself. I don't measure myself to hey Wally, I don't measure myself to a pastor or minister or someone who went to seminary or what have you. They're doing what they think they're called to do. I do what I do. But I don't say, oh, that person is that much, better than me. So again, I just think that usefulness, improving in those 4 areas, and there might be some other subsets of that you can improve on, but just focusing on those 4 to be physically strong and to be physically healthy, intellectually learning all the time, maintaining a level of emotional stability. But again, I think a lot of that emotional stability is based on the spiritual. If those things are going, typically your emotional health will be very good. If those areas are out of whack, then a lot more times than not, your emotional health will not be very good. And I just think that's just a better way to get around it, and it's tangible, it's truable. Like good is like, it's like you're chasing something that cannot be reached. But being better physically, yes, I can do that. Intellectually, yeah, I can learn something that is useful. Now, again, I'm not saying learning, yeah, you can read, no offense, Wally, you can read all the manga that you want or whatever and learn about the manga. No problem with that. But is that useful to the world around you, or is that just for yourself? And so those are things that, again, everything ultimately comes back to how I could be useful to the world around me. And I think you automatically will feel better about yourself because, again, you're applying yourself in those ways. But chasing good, at the end of the day, I don't think that's really going to get you there. And it's like you're just shooting a gun into the clouds, and you don't know what you're shooting at. But good is up there somewhere, and I'm just going to keep shooting until I hit something. And again, more times than not, you're not going to hit anything. But you can be useful. And sometimes the best way to be useful is simply to ask, how can I help? Just start there. What can I do? Can I help you in some kind of way? And you just kind of go from there. That's all I got.
Wally, what's going on, my man?
What's going on everywhere?
You might want to turn yourself up a bit, dude.
I got it from here.
Yeah.
I got you. What? Yeah, got anything on this?
I sort of just came in the middle, so I don't know what we got talking about so far.
All right. So the topic was tonight. You're not good enough. So as conversation evolved to you are good enough, but not as good. But you want to be a good, not good man.
I understand what you mean by not good enough, but yeah, go ahead.
You don't want to chase goodness. You just want to chase being the right man for yourself. That's where we're at.
Okay, well, as far as the idea of chasing goodness, I mean, you really can't chase that because what is the freaking limit of that? Today you can do something like anyone can do something good. I mean, there you just chased it. Like, oh, you helped the lady across the street. Congratulations, you just chased goodness for that moment. So what? I mean, right there, you just did one goodness. You just chased it. Congratulations. I mean, what else you need?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the idea of chasing goodness, that sort of seems very unrealistic because you're always like chasing goodness is like one step away and it's always right there. It doesn't really matter. Now, chasing being who you like now in the sense of chasing who you want to be or what you stand for, now, of course, that's different. And I think that's the thing about people that ultimately I would say is the more harder part to deal with. Simply, I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, never mind. But yeah, come on, freaking camera. But yeah, no. But pretty much, I think one of the main things is, well, one, as always in this world that we live in, this corrupt world, and the corruptness that other people in mankind have presetted, is everyone is judged by someone else's ideals or framework that they put onto the world. And that which leads to that where questions your own ideals of what you want. And in the sense of what you just asked, right? The idea of chasing bettering you. Because everyone wants to sit here and say, you're not good enough. Well, I have one thing to say on that, and that's this. If you're reluctantly to tell someone you're not good enough, or someone has reluctantly told you that, just simply ask them one simple question. Okay, I'm not good enough. What makes you good enough? And if they can't tell you that from their standpoint versus or whatever they frame you in, however they deem you not good enough, then tell them to shut up and move on. Because how are you going to sit here and try to tell me where I stand and you can't even tell me from where you stand in this life and actually visually able to tell me that you're good enough? I don't need to hear from you because you can't even tell me nothing. You really can't. So how about you move on and go tell yourself in the mirror that you're not good enough, or however you want to do it. Because that right there is telling someone you're not good enough is just looking, and then you have nothing to really measure yourself in the sense of you being able to tell me that or tell anyone that. That tells me you're just looking to make yourself feel better in a grand scheme when in reality you feel very small. So move on with that one. But honestly, all in all, like as far as just the idea of bettering yourself, I mean, that's always the goal for everybody. I think in more cases than not. It's just the reality is, do you do it for yourself or do you do it for others' visual of opinion? And I think that's where that comes to be a case. Because at the end of the day, I mean, one way or another, like whoever you deal with, either work, your parents, your family, whoever, everyone believes that you're not good enough. And the thing is, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how you live your life, someone will always dictate to you that you're not good enough. I would know. I help someone every freaking damn day of their livelihoods right now. And they'll still sit there in their eyes and talk crap about me behind my back, and every which way, and think I'm not good enough. But yet I'm good enough to help you do whatever you want to do in your life and do everything else. And if I wasn't there, who else is doing it for you? Okay. But everyone wants to sit here and talk. At the end of the day, when I hear the term "you're not good enough," neither of it's coming just in the sense of yourself, or neither in the sense of other people, but mostly in other people. I always sit here and say, hey, look, I might not be where I want to be, but I know one thing, I'm not where you're at. So shut it and fucking focus on you, because while you want to keep focused on everyone else, all you're doing is distracting yourself from not focusing on you, because you know you're truly not good enough. Take a seat in a class with a mirror in front of you and deal with yourself, because honestly, no one don't need you wasting time trying to get into people's psyche and wasting their time distracting them from what they really been always completing their whole damn day in their whole damn lives. People are way far ahead of most people in this life, and they won't even know it because they allow other people to sabotage their brain and thinking they're not good enough. And that's just sad.
Enough said.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's start getting into our final thoughts. Paul, you want to go first? Greg, and
I
then
don't have any. Sorry.
okay, say something, and then Wally will finish up. Let's get you up here.
Yeah, I think I guess the thrust of what I've been saying tonight is, again, I think we need to get away from those definitions. I think being useful will be probably a higher compliment to pay to someone versus whether or not they were good or great. I think those words are just used way too much. But usefulness and utility, I think those are things that are admirable, and you will get a certain level of respect and admiration for that. So again, I stress enough: pies, physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual health. Take care of all those areas. Try your best to improve in all those areas of your life, and judge yourself based on that improvement. Again, you'll never get to the final destination. But again, it's what you become through the process. Can you apply yourself to a process to be disciplined? And every day you just try to do a little bit more and just be a better version of yourself. And again, I'll just share, certainly Wally, I don't know if you saw this early on, but I just want to show you, I'll just share this one last time before we get out of here. This is me at 16 years old. And everybody was saying I wasn't good enough. My brother loved him to death. He would say, if it wasn't for books, you ain't worth ish. He would say that to me all the time. And again, I love my brother. We're in different places right now. It's not something I take a victory lap on or put in his face like, who's the man? That's childish behavior. I pray for my brother. But, we all wear those labels, And I think it has to come to a point where, again, you focus on you being the best version of yourself in those areas and let other people talk about your goodness or greatness or whatever. You just be good to the people around you. And let that be what you're, what you're measured by. That's all I got.
You're muted. You're muted.
Be happy. You got life. If you got people around you who love you, great. If you haven't, they're not worth it. Sorry, that's what I've got. Sorry, Pete.
Very good. All right, Roddy, go up.
Hold on. All right, okay, good.
Holy crap.
No, right. So, what can I honestly say? Funny, what Mr. Bennett had said a little bit earlier, and that's the thing, right? When it comes to the idea of chasing goodness, you want to chase goodness, it's real simple. Just attract it to you. Because I think in more cases than not, it's way more easier to know that you're chasing goodness when people are able to recognize it within you. I mean, more than anything else. As they say, the law of attraction, right? I think it works in the same sentiments. But pretty much, like I said before, in the overness of, even in the standpoint of someone telling you you're not good enough, just remember this. If someone tell you that, just tell them thank you. Because you know why? That's one step really when you're actually closer to being what you really want to be. Because again, I always say this, anyone willing to tell you're not good enough, as if they walk in your feet on a daily basis, just truly, when they tell you you're not good enough, just tell them thank you. Because you are. Because at the end of the day, people think just because you don't do what they do, you don't do it at the same pace as them or anything else, you're not good enough. Last time I checked, I didn't know we was running the same race in this life. I didn't know me and you were running the same race. We were running the same lane. We run the same pathway, everything else. Because last time I checked, my pathway to the final, to the end is different than yours and everybody else's. Since we all live different ethnicities, we all live different lives, we all come from different backgrounds. Some of us are better off, some of us are not, and some of us in between. So I don't really want to hear that. I really don't want to hear that. I really don't want to hear it. So truthfully, anytime you hear someone tell you you're not good enough, tell them thank you and just keep it going. And if they're gonna just keep mouthing off, then truthfully tell them and ask them, since you so are good enough, please explain yourself how you're so good. And I guarantee you, they talk themselves right into a wall without ever proving nothing to you. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, some of them can prove it to you. But then I ask you one simple thing. What gives you enough Karens to tell me that I'm not good enough when I didn't bother you and what you got going on in your life? I'll leave you there.
Evil man.
Guys, I want to thank you for coming up. This was a interesting conversation. It took a turn, but in a good turn, I think. Right, Paul? So let's do a quick schedule update and let's get the heck out of here. Where's my schedule? Oops, wrong page. Nope. There we go. So where are we? Here we are. Tomorrow, Sean will be speaking about family and Genesis, the cause. I'll let him explain that tomorrow. And
Generational curses.
Yeah, thank you. And Paul and Coach will be talking about why health insurance isn't an option. You're muted, bro.
We're going to start with life insurance, and then we'll get into other insurances over a series of shows.
So you need me to
health,
flip it, right?
health insurance, auto insurance, and auto buying. Those are some topics going to be coming up. I think we're going to kick off with life insurance.
Okay, so you want me to flip it then?
Yeah.
I have it next week. Okay. We are having the wrestling talk, right? Wally, Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And on, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said yes if you have the topics.
Yeah, I do. I'll send them to you. And on Saturday we'll be talking about Doom versus man, my eyes are not working right now. Doomslayer versus Sam Aaron, Hell versus Space. Doom versus Metroid.
Are they games or movies?
Games only. I don't want to talk about the horrible Doom movies. They've been horrible.
Okay.
Yeah. And we are having a gray area. And next week we'll be back with Stop Overthinking. That is a topic I want to talk about for a while. So I think this is going to be a nice match following this up. Except that, Paul, last words before we go?
Good.
Greg? Wally?
I'm good. I think I said enough already.
All right, guys. This was a Spartan Arena on a Spartan SU Network. I am the Spartan. He is Mr. Bennett, a.k.a. Mr. President. Our official numbnuts, my boy Wally. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.